And now, a public service announcement from the Imaginary Friends.
Dear America, the election is over. We no longer are forced to talk about Trump versus Hillary. No matter where you stood, no matter how you voted, the election is over. We can go back to our normal lives now. I don't know what to do. And welcome back to another episode of Just 1 Cent. We are glad you are here. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, so buckle up and let's enjoy this together. Barnes opens this episode of Gotham by finding a murder cover-up artist busy at work, and instead of arresting him, he decides that he wants to punish him. Barnes? Wrong universe. The Punisher's with those other guys. Also, early on in the episode, Mario finds out from Lee that Jim is returning to the GCPD. And in this scene, what bugged me the most was the length of his tie. I mean, just look at that thing. It is nowhere near what it needs to be. Come on, man. And on that note, Jim's return to the GCPD made for some very interesting scenes. First of all, it must be super awkward having to work with your ex. I can't imagine like your best friend dating your ex, but then having to work with your ex, that's a whole different playing field. Some of those moments included some bro-like times that he spent with Bullock, those already mentioned awkward moments that he had with Lee, and then some father-son moments that he had with Barnes. Ed and Isabella's relationship continued to grow in this episode, but the similarities between her and Miss Kringle really caused Ed to have a psychotic breakdown. He started seeing Miss Kringle in the mirror in his bathroom, and he had a full-blown conversation with her and himself. All these people existing in his head. It was sad. It really showed the madness that still existed inside of Ed, and as you know, madness is like gravity. All it takes is a little push for him to go over the edge. Due to his fear of harming Isabella like he had Miss Kringle, he wanted to call things off between them, and instead of doing it himself, he asked Penguin to do it for him. And that brings us to Dean's comment of the week. Dean says, "Oh no, Nigma, never do that. Weren't you ever in high school? Break up with her in person, to her face, not secondhand." This has been Dean's comment of the week. Albeit in all the back and forth between Penguin and Isabella, we got to really see how intelligent her character was. Her character is. I didn't mean to say was. She's not dead. Nope, she is not dead. Nope. In the end, Penguin did not succeed in pushing her away, and Nigma came back to reclaim his girlfriend. You could say he was definitely with her. No, not her. Her. But she was dressed as her. I hope this isn't confusing. Penguin, however, played his trump card. And we don't know if Isabella's going to make it to the next episode or not, because she was driving a car and it was hit by a train. So, yeah. And when there's a high society party in Gotham, you can bet there's gonna be trouble and antics inside of that mug. In this case, Barbara showed up to Lee's engagement party. Boy, that must have been fun. Side note, away from Gotham, did anyone happen to catch Jervis Tetch on The Voice last night? Okay, so it wasn't Jervis Tetch, and it wasn't Benedict Samuel, but do you think Benedict Samuel and Josh Halverson could pass as brothers? A central part of this episode, really the main theme of this episode, the main focus of this episode, if you will, was how Barnes was going to be affected and how he became affected by the contact that he had with Alice Tetch's blood. His fight to maintain sanity even sent him to ask the help of Jervis Tetch. So you know he must be desperate. Desperate. Yeah! So you know he must be desperate. Jervis merely suggested to him that he listen to the voices that would be coming and just let Alice take over. As Barnes struggled, his desire for punishment grew stronger. As he continued to work his case, you could see that he began to take down his criminals more violently each and every time. At Lee's engagement party, after talking with Carmen Falcone of all people, Barnes decided to turn himself in for a crime that he had committed until the virus came back with a vengeance. And at this point, Barnes straight up turned into Judge Dredd and shouted, "I am the law!" as he pushed a man through, yes, through a brick wall. At first, I thought the Judge Dredd comment was way off until our research department dug up that in 1991, there was a Batman Judge Dredd crossover. And after digging into the content of the crossover, I don't think they'll be bringing this to screen, but they might make some kind of allusion to it. Next week's episode is called The Executioner, so maybe there's that. Thank you, research department. You're welcome. And that's it for another episode of Just 1 Cent. Again, we hope you enjoyed it. We hope you like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, make sure to keep the imagination alive.